Okay. So, we're back in Forbidden Woods, on the way to fight the shadows. And everything, well, not everything, but a lot of things that could go wrong, kinda do. This run gets fucked. It gets fucked up about 2 minutes into Forbidden Woods, and it's my fault. It's not the game's fault. It's not like the game decided to, glitch out and just kill me for no fucking reason, or, you know, just shit on me for just stupid, sort of bad coding, or, bad programming, blah, 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 blah. It's none of that. It's my fucking fault. And I let that get the better of me. So I had thought about just scrapping this whole build, starting over, and getting back to the shadows and doing the fight again, rather than making a video with such a garbage outcome. But I decided to leave it in because I think it presents an interesting opportunity to talk about something else that the Soulsborne games can help teach us. So here is where it begins. Okay, I've dealt with these beast enemies thousands of times, across too many hours in this game, and in my head I think, I'm not gonna die here. I never die in Forbidden Woods. I don't die to the shadows. I got this. I'm fine. And my hubris wins, and it governs me instead of good judgment. And I get greedy, and I run into that enemy, and I think, I'm gonna fuck you, and guess who got fucked? It wasn't the enemy. So now I'm mad at myself. I'm a little annoyed. And I'm thinking, okay, that fucking sucks. And it's slightly embarrassing to die, but it's okay. It's the Soulsborne games. This was never meant to be a no-death run. If it was, we would have been playing way more cautiously. But it was never intended to be that, clearly. But I'm annoyed that that happened. So now my goal is to just make it back to that one beast enemy and fist him hard. That's all I care about. I don't care about being safe on the way. I don't care if I take damage. I don't care about anything. I just want to get back to him. And that's a shitty way to play the game. I suppose I should also mention that the only reason I want into that little house, that little hut, that little shack, is there are beast blood pellets in there. I think there are 4, and I want them. I want those. So here I go up against him the way I guess you're kind of supposed to. The way I should have, which is safe and yeah. So I get the beast blood pellets, and then I make the way to the shadows. I don't do 100% guide here. There are tons of items. There are some shards around the entrance to this. I think it's a windmill. Lots of items in those little shacks. I don't do that. If you go out to the left here, you can get to the top and you can meet the beggar. There are poison knives. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. The cannon is up there. I don't do that. I don't do 100% guides. Gay for Games on YouTube, they have a good 100% walkthrough. If you are interested in shit like that, it's really good. Check that out. So this is the first shortcut that takes you right next to the lamp, and you will meet Valtir. Join the League. I love coffee. If you crush somewhere between 5 and 10 vermin in front of Altair, I think he gives you his little bucket helmet. And when you summon him for either Ludwig or Lawrence, he's not wearing the thing, the little bucket helm. And I think he looks like that guy from True Blood, Eric. It's been a long time since I watched that shitty show, but... So, it's like I said, I don't do 100% grab. I think those are just shining coins, and why? But I do make one little stop. And if you want to make this stop, there's an easy tell for when you know it's coming, if you're not used to it. So you see the red right there. You'll see a giant snake mob right there. Turn left, and there's a break in the fence. Drop down on this landing. And the alien. So here we get the, I think it's the anti-clockwise metamorphosis rune, which increases your stamina. And then right before the shadows is the clockwise metamorphosis rune, which increases your HP. I think both do like a 5%, it's either a 5 or a 10% increase in stamina and HP respectively. And I don't level endurance ever, so using the rune just gives you a bit of a bump in that in your endurance. So I wasn't gonna unlock this second shortcut. I was just gonna go straight to the shadows. I'm glad I didn't do that. I'm glad I unlocked this second shortcut, because yeah, spoiler alert, it doesn't fucking matter, really. Nobody gives a shit, but I died twice to the shadows. Fucking twice. And the first death, I mean, I was very annoyed. Very fucking annoyed. And the second death, I was ready to just scrap the whole fucking run and start over. I don't take the elevator up, but I'm gonna show you where it is if you don't know. We're gonna fucking use it, don't worry. So, yeah, I mean, I went into this, I think, with a lot of arrogance and a lot of hubris, you know, because I don't really die in the Forbidden Woods, and I don't really die to the shadows. Except at Blood level 4, like I talked about, they're a big wall for me. And so I had no intention of dying here. And so because of that, I sort of went on autopilot. And I was not being safe at all. I was being greedy, I was being careless. And I didn't learn after I got wrecked. There's a rune back there under the headstones and like the fallen trees guarded by those like swamp men. I never grab it because I don't use it. Just a pig. So yeah, I mean, all of my actions here are just... At first, they're governed by, like I said, by arrogance, and then I'm guided by anger. Instead of being, you know, instead of letting good judgment and reason win. You can also, there's a summon over there in that corner if you need help with the shadows, and Henrik, if you do Eileen's quest line up to this point, which we don't do, he can be summoned for the shadows, and he's actually like really tanky and fucks them up real bad. It's interesting, like he's one of the best summons, and he might actually be the best summon in the vanilla game, to be honest with you. So the fight here starts off okay. You know, you get your free hit, and there are a bunch of different ways to deal with the shadows, right? One of the more common ways is to whittle them down equally. You get them all right around half health equally, so that way when you trigger the second phase and they have a bit more dangerous attacks, you don't have that much damage left to do. You know, you can clean them up quicker. I like to go after the mage guy first, and if I can, whittle the katana wielder guy's health down a little bit. I don't worry so much about the one that like spits fire, the one with the candle behind the pillar there. The mage guy, he can be really frustrating with his fire spit, and you want to make sure that you keep them all like in your view all the time, and it's hard because he keeps a distance, so I like to just get rid of him. So everything is fine. I mean, I think I've taken a couple of hits. We haven't healed. This guy is almost dead, and here it's over. Now if I had been on my fucking game, you know, I wouldn't have been R1 spamming right there, and I would have had the other one in view so that I could see what he was doing. I know that he has that jump attack, but I just thought that I'm going to run in and I'm going to fuck him and run out, and it's going to be that simple, and I wasn't really respecting the fact that these fights can go sideways real quick, and you're not invincible. So now I'm pissed at myself. I'm pissed at myself, but I'm still not trying to be in any way strategic. You know, I'm still like I guess in some sort of like hack and slash mode where I think I'm just gonna go in and brawl them to death. So I'm mad a little bit, and you'll see where that gets me. So if you remember the like, I really think it's like a windmill or something like that, where the snake enemy was, and I said you can find the beggar or the aberrant beast, poison knives, all that, the cannon. This is where that's where the shortcut is, the second shortcut. So I think that there is something to learn there. Like, even seasoned players, you know, can get fucked in this game hard. Even players that are great at the game, you know, like they'll die. Like, you can watch someone like Squilla, Kwitty, Frozcon, these types of players, you know, like where they'll do like no death runs, no hit runs, these you know, crazy challenge runs, but they still get fucked up, you know. Nobody is immune to it. So what it takes, I think, is that good, healthy dose of humility, and not going into the game with a big head and being arrogant and guided by hubris and thinking, I got this shit, man. I got this jack. Fuck shit up. I don't have to do anything. Because you're going to end up like I ended up here. And this goes real quick. I get fucked real hard right here. When I miss that visceral attack, I just get so I can just feel myself just giving up, just thinking, God damn it. Yeah, this is painful to watch. I feel embarrassed, to be honest with you, that I put this up, but you know, it's an opportunity, like I said, to talk about, you know, after the hundreds and hundreds of hours that I put into well, the Soulsborne universe in general, but especially Bloodborne. You know, I'm not, you know, a perfect player by any means. I know what I'm doing, but shit like this still happens, you know, and I try to learn even easy fights, you know, like the witches. I've died to the witches before, which you would think is impossible, right? But it's fucking happened, man. Just going in there and like thinking, and look at this. Why would I just stand in the path of that? You know, I'm being greedy and annoyed. Jesus fucking Christ. And a lot of this too can I don't know if anybody plays Call of Duty or anything, but the same types of lessons, well, at least with anger, translate to Call of Duty as well. Like if you're playing and there's somebody in the back of the map, you know, camping with a sniper rifle or something like that, and there's nothing wrong with that if that's how they want to play. They paid $60 for the game. Fuck it. But if you're trying to get at them because they're pissing you off and you keep dying over and over again, then you're gonna get madder and madder, and you're gonna play worse and worse, and that's gonna make you more irritated, and it's just gonna kill the fun. And depending on what type of game mode you're playing, you might lose the game, you know. So. But that's sort of what happens here. You know, things just spiral, and I just get exponentially more irritated, more mad. I play exponentially then more worse. And if I had just gone into this area and against the shadows with more respect, I think, and played it safer, and was humble, you know, about the fact that even though I don't die in this area very often, or die to the shadows very often, it doesn't matter, because the potential to get wrecked is still there, you know, especially since we don't level, well, since I don't level vitality. You know, it's it can be over pretty quick. You know, you kind of don't want to take any damage, or as little as possible. So I clean them up in this fight, but it is probably the nastiest, just ugliest fight I've had in this game in a long time. It's like a Pyrrhic victory, right? Like, yeah, I won, but I didn't feel like I won. It just feels like a really ugly fight. You know, it's not clean, it's not quick, it's really not efficient. Now, I do have another video where I show how to fight the shadows like a real fight. You know, it's a no heal, and I do take one hit, but I take it willingly. Like, it's not like an accidental hit. I tank damage on purpose, because I know I'm gonna get that back with rally, and I'm just rushing. I was trying to get the fight done, pretty much. So I take the hit, and I don't give a shit. It could have easily been a no-hit if I just dodged, but I wasn't concerned about it. But this fight is just ugly, man. Really fucking ugly. Now, in their second phase, they do get long-ranged attacks. You'll see me get fucked by them more than once. Right there's one. There you go. And there's not really a third phase. And look at this. I'm just not paying any attention. It's so hard to watch. It's embarrassing. But they don't really have a third phase, but they do have a move, an attack that can come later, where they summon snakes across the arena, and it's really fucking hard to dodge, and it's probably gonna kill you. Unless you just... I don't really know the best way to go about dodging the snakes, I'll be honest with you. So I just don't let them get to that point. So I'm trying to get rid of this katana wielder. the speedy one, because after that the fight is pretty much over. You'll see why. But I want to separate these two as much as I can while keeping the one with the flaming sword in view, because he does have that jump attack, and he does have this move which can close distance. So see, I'm not keeping him in view. It's a problem. Yeah, just an ugly fight, man, all the way around. It's embarrassing. Missing. Oh, God. This is painful. Just L2 spam the fuck out of him, right? That'll win the game. Ugh. Okay. So, I just walked right into the fire, you fucking idiot. So, once you get to this guy, just hit him and he'll always strafe to the right or the left. It's just the way it's programmed. And clean him up really easy. Any of the other enemies, if you save them for last, there's the potential that they'll do the snake summon. And you don't want that. But as long as you keep that one in that strafe loop, he won't do that. So it's advisable, I would say, to save him for last. And then these enemies, you can do an R1, L1, L1, R1 to sort of keep them staggered a bit. And that is that embarrassing fucking set of blunders. Jesus. Hopefully the rest of the run goes far more smooth. We made it to Bergenworth. We're going to go back to the dream. We're going to level more in strength and skill. I think I repair my weapon. I always repair my weapon. I'm a bit anal about it. And yeah, the rest of the run, you know, hopefully approaching each area and each boss with a bit more humility. You know, not thinking that I'm just gonna go in on God mode and fuck everything up, you know. It's a good lesson to learn, and it's something good to remember when you play the Soulsborne games. And this is not new to Bloodborne, you know. I've had similar experiences, you know, in Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, where I just go in and think, oh, I've fought Flexile Sentry 1,000,000 times, the easiest boss in the game, 10 out of 10, I'm gonna fuck him up, and then I die. It's just, god damn it. So you always want to be safe, and you want to make sure that, you know, you're humble when you play these games, so you don't, and to manage your fucking anger and frustration, you know. It's all about fun. So next is Rom, and then the run through Yahar'gul to the Tower Knight Reborn.